You don't see the world as it is. You see it through the lens of your own perspective. And sometimes, that very lens limits you more than any external challenge ever could. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve this," or "I will fail," don't define who you truly are. They're just stories you've been telling yourself. Stoicism teaches us that the world doesn't need to change for you to find happiness. You simply need to shift how you perceive yourself, and everything around you will begin to transform. In this video, I'll share profound lessons and personal experiences I've gained from the philosophy of Stoicism. Don't just listen passively. Truly engage and reflect, because every part of this video could be the missing piece that helps you see yourself and your life from a whole new perspective. Don't miss a single moment, because even the smallest shift in your mindset today can spark a monumental change in your future. Number 1, turn dreams into reality. Imagine standing before a breathtaking painting where every dream you've ever had has come true. You see yourself successful, joyful, and filled with inspiration. But then you blink and the image fades, replaced by reality where you're still struggling, trapped in doubts and fears. What happened? Why can't that vision become your life? The answer is simple, yet powerful. It's the way you perceive yourself that's keeping you from reaching your dreams. Stoic philosophy isn't some distant, impractical theory. It's a guiding light, helping you face life with clarity and courage. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." So, who do you want to be? A dreamer who never acts, or someone brave enough to turn dreams into reality? Dreams don't magically come true. They aren't the product of luck or some miraculous force. They're built through action, perseverance, and the courage to face failure head-on. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times. But he didn't see those as failures. Instead, they were valuable lessons on his path to discovery. I have not failed. I've just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work. That's the essence of Stoicism, transforming failure into a stepping stone for greater achievements. But how do you hold on to that belief when everything around you seems to be working against you? How do you keep from falling when faced with challenges that feel insurmountable? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, left us a powerful reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control the external world, but you have absolute control over how you perceive and respond to its difficulties. Stoic philosophy doesn't teach us to daydream. It teaches us to see reality clearly and act within our means. Don't sit around waiting for a miracle. Dreams won't come true if you don't act. The first thing you need to do is define what you truly want. Don't just say you want success or happiness. Be specific. Who do you want to become? What do you want to achieve in this life? Then, start small. Don't wait until everything is perfect to take action, because perfection will never come. Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." It's hesitation and fear that make things seem hard. But once you begin, you'll realize that most of your fears are just illusions created by your mind. Have you ever asked yourself, what if I fail? But why not flip that question around? What if I succeed? Let that thought propel you forward. Don't let fear steal your chances. Instead, let faith and action guide you. Look around at the people who dared to dream and acted to make those dreams a reality. They aren't more special than you. They simply believed in themselves and stayed committed to their actions. They failed, but they didn't let failure define them. They faced difficulties, but they didn't let obstacles block their path. So, what about you? What will define you, fear or action? Remember, dreams aren't a destination, they're a journey. Every step you take, whether big or small, is part of that journey. Don't be afraid if you feel like you're moving slower than others. What matters isn't how fast you go, it's that you never stop moving forward. Number 2, transform pain into power. There's an undeniable truth. Pain is an inevitable part of life. No matter who you are, how wealthy you become, or how successful you are, no one can escape loss, failure, or the deep wounds of the heart. But the surprising thing isn't that we suffer. It's how differently each person responds to that suffering. Some are knocked down and never rise again. Yet others, from the depths of seemingly unbearable pain, ignite a strength they never knew they had. So, what's the secret? Stoic philosophy answered this question over 2,000 years ago. Pain isn't the enemy, it's an opportunity to forge yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of letting hardship drown them, Stoics view suffering as a challenge they must overcome to grow. To transform pain into power, the first step is to accept that suffering is an inseparable part of life. Acceptance doesn't mean surrender. It means understanding that some things are beyond your control. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" You might think this sounds idealistic, but look at real people and real stories to see the strength of this philosophy in action. Composer Ludwig van Beethoven is a vivid example. When Beethoven lost his hearing, the worst fate for a musician, many believed it would mark the end of his career. But in that painful silence, he composed timeless masterpieces like Symphony No. 9, a work unmatched to this day. Beethoven once declared, "I will seize fate by the throat. It shall certainly never wholly overcome me." Instead of letting loss crush him, he turned it into a driving force, creating music the world will forever admire. But you don't have to be Beethoven to find strength in your own pain. Start with the smallest steps. When facing challenges, pause and ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? Don't let negative emotions overwhelm you. Instead, seek out concrete actions to move forward. Write in a journal, meditate, or simply share your feelings with someone you trust. Don't fear facing your pain, because that courage is what will help you grow. You might be thinking, that's easier said than done. And you're right, no one said this would be easy. But it's precisely the difficulty that makes the journey worthwhile. Remember, strength doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from how you face and overcome it. Life isn't always fair, but that doesn't matter. What matters is who you become because of the challenges you face. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't who experiences fewer hardships, but who knows how to rise through them. So, the next time life throws you a challenge that feels insurmountable, don't ask why this is happening to you. Instead, ask, how will this shape me? Because in the end, only you can decide who you become after life's storms. And once you learn how to turn pain into strength, you'll realize something even deeper. Not everything in life is worth worrying about. We often get caught up in trivial concerns, forgetting the core values we should be striving for. So how do you keep your mind clear and your heart focused on what truly matters? The answer will come in the next chapter of your journey. Number 3, focus on what truly matters. In the modern world, we're surrounded by a constant barrage of noise, relentless news updates, the chaos of social media, and the never-ending expectations from family, friends, and even ourselves. We race against time, buried under an endless to-do list. But at some quiet moment in the day, when everything settles down, do you ever wonder, am I really dedicating my time and energy to what truly matters? Or are you merely living out a script that someone else has written for you? Over 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophy revealed an unchanging truth. Happiness and peace don't come from controlling the outside world, but from mastering how we perceive and respond to it. When you realize that true strength lies in your ability to govern your own mind, you stop being swept away by trivialities and distractions. Instead, you learn to focus on your core values, the things truly worthy of your time and effort. Take a look at the life of Albert Einstein. Despite being one of the greatest scientists in history, he never let himself get caught up in the glitz of fame. Einstein once said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." He understood that real worth isn't measured by awards or recognition, but by what you contribute to the world. It was this focus on core values that not only led to his scientific achievements, but also made him a symbol of wisdom and humanity. But how can we, ordinary people navigating this turbulent life, learn to focus on what truly matters? First, learn to separate what you can control from what you can't. This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy. You can't control other people's actions, the weather, or life's unpredictable twists, but you can always control your attitude and reactions. Whenever you face a difficult situation, ask yourself, will this still matter to me 5 years from now? This simple question helps you filter out unnecessary worries and concentrate on what has lasting value. Second, practice gratitude for life's simplest moments. In a world that constantly pushes you to have more, do more, and be more, Stoicism reminds us that true happiness comes from appreciating what we already have. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Poverty isn't about having little. It's about always feeling you lack something. Take time each day to reflect on and appreciate the small but precious things: a peaceful morning, a warm hug from a loved one, or even just a hot cup of coffee on a sunny day. Finally, Be selective about the relationships and influences around you. Not everyone deserves your time and energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your soul absorbs the thoughts and influences of your surroundings. Surround yourself with people who inspire positivity and growth. Don't hesitate to step away from toxic relationships or those who constantly drag you down. Because in the end, you are the average of the people you spend the most time with. When you learn to focus on what truly matters, you don't just change the way you see the world, you change how you see yourself. You'll realize that happiness doesn't reside in grand achievements or distant dreams, but in the simplest, most authentic moments. You'll stop feeling the need to race against others or meet unreasonable expectations. Instead, you'll live a life of purpose, meaning, and profound peace. So, are you ready for this journey? If you are, hit that like button to show your commitment to change. And remember, every great journey begins with the smallest of steps. Number 4, achieve balance and true success. Have you ever wondered why some people, despite standing at the pinnacle of fame and success, still feel empty inside? Why do those who possess everything we dream of, money, fame, power, struggle to find peace? The answer lies in balance, something no amount of wealth can buy. Stoic philosophy teaches us not only how to face life's adversities, but also reveals that true success isn't about conquering the external world. It's about harmonizing with the world within. Imagine life as a boat adrift on the open sea. The winds may be fierce, and the waves may rise high, but what keeps the boat from capsizing? It's not about controlling the wind or stopping the waves. It's about maintaining your own balance. So, how do we stay balanced amidst the storms of life? First, stop believing that success is only measured by outcomes. Consider Anthony Bourdain, the renowned chef and traveling storyteller who captivated the world with his culinary and cultural adventures. He had it all: a thriving career, global admiration. Yet inside, Bourdain grappled with insecurity and a sense of being lost. Eventually, he left this world, leaving us with a haunting question. Does success hold any real meaning if we can't find inner peace? Stoic philosophy urges us not to equate success with happiness. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You are free when you're no longer driven by the need for recognition. You are successful when you no longer fear failure. It may sound paradoxical, but letting go of expectations is the key to achieving true success. Look at the life of Haruki Murakami, the Japanese author famous for his surreal narratives and profound explorations of loneliness and self-discovery. Before becoming a writer at 29, Murakami owned a small bar, an unexpected turning point. When asked about his secret to success, he shared that he never wrote for awards or recognition. Murakami writes because it helps him maintain his inner balance, providing a quiet space to escape the noise of the world. Murakami didn't chase success. Success found him. That's the difference when you live aligned with your core values. But how can you find that balance in today's fast-paced world? Try a simple yet powerful exercise from Stoic philosophy: negative visualization. Instead of daydreaming about ideal outcomes, spend a few minutes each day imagining the worst-case scenarios: losing your job, failing a project, or even losing a loved one. This isn't to instill fear, but to help you appreciate the preciousness of what you have, knowing it won't last forever. When you accept the worst, it no longer has power over you. Ask yourself, what am I really chasing, and does it truly make me happy? Am I trading inner peace for external validation? If I lost everything tomorrow, could I still stand strong and start again? And finally, remember this: true success isn't about what you achieve, it's about who you become along the journey. When you find balance, you don't just succeed, you inspire others. So, change the way you see yourself. You are not the sum of your accomplishments, but the spirit you uphold throughout the journey. And when you've mastered inner balance, no success can lead you astray, and no failure can bring you down. If you've made it this far, congratulations on your patience and your commitment to investing in yourself. Every part of this message is a crucial piece of the puzzle in understanding balance and true success. Keep watching until the end. You'll discover practical insights and actionable strategies that will transform how you view yourself and empower you to conquer any challenge ahead. Number 5. Break free from limiting beliefs. Have you ever asked yourself, why can't I seem to move forward? Maybe the answer isn't out there in the world, but deep within your own mind, in the limiting beliefs that have quietly taken root over time. Thoughts like, I'm not smart enough, I wasn't born for this, or I'll probably fail, aren't just harmless whispers in your head. They are invisible chains, anchoring you to a smaller, dimmer version of yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches us that what truly holds us back isn't our circumstances, but how we perceive and respond to them. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who rose from slavery to become a master of thought, once said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." The fears and limits you feel often exist only in your imagination, and if they were created by your thoughts, they can be dismantled by your thoughts, too. Limiting beliefs aren't facts. They're just stories you've been telling yourself, stories that can be rewritten at any time. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt and fear, you'll harvest stagnation and frustration. But if you replace them with self-belief and persistence, that garden will bloom with confidence and success. You might wonder, but how do I even know if I'm being held back by limiting beliefs? The answer lies in how you react to opportunities and challenges. When a new opportunity arises, do you instantly think, I can't do this? Or do you say, I'll give it a shot and learn from it? If your first instinct leans toward, I can't, that's a clear sign of a limiting belief quietly steering your choices. These beliefs don't shout. They whisper in the smallest corners of your mind, nudging you toward the easier, safer, but ultimately less fulfilling path. So, how can you break free from these limiting beliefs and change the way you see yourself? First, identify and confront them. When you hear that voice in your head saying, I'm not good enough, pause and ask yourself, why do I believe this? Is it really true, or is it just fear rooted in past failures? Write down these negative beliefs and examine them objectively. More often than not, you'll find they have no solid foundation. Second, replace limiting beliefs with concrete actions. Stoicism emphasizes the power of action. You don't need to make massive leaps right away. Small, consistent steps are enough. Afraid of public speaking? Start by talking to a small group of close friends. Think you're not qualified to change careers? Try learning a new skill, one step at a time. Each small action is a declaration to yourself that you can. Finally, cultivate gratitude and acceptance. Stoic philosophy isn't just about overcoming challenges, it's about how you view everything in life. When you're grateful for your struggles, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow. Challenges aren't enemies, they're teachers guiding you to become stronger and wiser. Are you ready to re-examine yourself and break free from those limiting beliefs? Because you are not the negative thoughts in your head. You are what you choose to believe and the actions you take every day. When you shift how you see yourself, you'll realize that no limit can hold you back, except the ones you place on yourself. Number 6, master discipline and perseverance. On the journey of self-discovery and personal transformation, many people believe that motivation is the key to success. But Stoic philosophy teaches us that motivation is merely the initial spark. Discipline and perseverance are the enduring flames that carry you through long-term challenges. As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom comes from self-mastery, and discipline is the tool that leads you there. Imagine a cold, rainy morning. Your alarm goes off, and all you want to do is curl up in your warm blanket. You might ask yourself, can I skip my workout today? Who's going to care anyway? That's the moment when discipline speaks up. Discipline doesn't rely on feelings or circumstances. It's the ability to stick to your commitments, even when your enthusiasm has faded. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly in Meditations. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. You're not just working toward external goals. You're working to better yourself, day by day, moment by moment. A powerful example of discipline and perseverance is the story of Angela Duckworth, the renowned psychologist known for her research on grit, the blend of passion and long-term perseverance. In her book, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, she reveals that success isn't about innate talent, but the relentless pursuit of goals. Duckworth studied cadets at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where only the best of the best are admitted. Surprisingly, the most successful cadets weren't the ones with the highest test scores or the greatest physical strength, but those who refused to give up, no matter the obstacles. So, how can you apply this philosophy to your daily life? Start with small, consistent actions. If you want to improve your health, don't aim to run 10 kilometers right away. Instead, commit to running 1 kilometer each day and stick with it. Perseverance doesn't come from big leaps. It comes from continuously moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Don't be embarrassed to start from zero. Don't fear when others don't understand your journey. What matters is that you keep going. As Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Take inspiration from David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL and ultra-marathon runner known for his unbreakable mental toughness. Goggins didn't start out with exceptional strength or endurance. He faced a childhood filled with violence and racism, challenges that seemed insurmountable. But instead of letting those hardships define him, Goggins chose to confront them bit by bit, day by day, just like committing to that 1-kilometer run to build endurance. In his book, Can't Hurt Me, he shares, motivation is crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever is in front of you will get destroyed. Goggins didn't rely on fleeting motivation. He placed his trust in discipline and perseverance, taking small, deliberate steps to break through limits he once thought were impossible. Mastering discipline and perseverance doesn't just help you achieve your goals, it transforms how you see yourself. Every time you overcome laziness, every time you push through exhaustion, you send a powerful message to yourself, I can. And this belief becomes the solid foundation, not just for your personal growth, but also for inspiring those around you. So, are you ready to change how you view yourself and begin the journey of mastering discipline and perseverance? Declare it to the world by commenting, I choose discipline. Remember, every small step you take today will lead you to great heights tomorrow. Number 7, adopt a winning mindset. The only thing you truly have control over is how you see yourself. Stoic philosophy doesn't teach us to chase after things beyond our reach or to hope that fate will favor us. On the contrary, it emphasizes that true strength lies within, and how you define yourself is the key to genuine success. A winning mindset isn't some innate gift or a privilege reserved for a lucky few. It's the result of mental discipline, of understanding and applying the simple yet profound principles of Stoicism. Have you ever asked yourself, what does true victory mean? Is it wealth, fame, or the applause of others? Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True richness isn't about how much you own, but how little you need. The Stoic idea of a winning mindset isn't about defeating others, it's about conquering yourself. It's about overcoming your inner limitations, fears, and insecurities that hold you back. Imagine standing in the middle of a fierce storm. The winds howl, rain pours down relentlessly, and everything around you seems to be falling apart. Yet, even in the heart of that storm, you can find calm and steadfastness. That is the winning mindset Stoics strive for. They teach us that no matter how harsh the circumstances, you can always control your thoughts and emotions. A powerful example of this mindset is Bethany Hamilton, the American surfer. At just 13, she lost her left arm in a shark attack. For many, that would have marked the end of a sports career. But Bethany refused to let tragedy define her. Within months, she was back on her board, competing professionally. She once said, I don't need easy, I just need possible. That spirit embodies the essence of Stoicism. You don't need life to be easy. You just need to be strong enough to rise above it. So, how can you build a winning mindset in your own life? First, practice inner control. Stoicism teaches that while you can't control everything that happens, you can control how you respond. Second, embrace failure as part of the journey. No one in this world has achieved success without stumbling along the way. But those with a winning mindset don't let failure define them. Lastly, appreciate the journey rather than focusing solely on the outcome. A winning mindset isn't just about reaching success. It's about savoring the process of personal growth. Remember, every day you face your fears, every time you choose to rise after falling, that's a victory in itself. Do you dare to see yourself as a winner, even when life isn't perfect? Do you believe that in your toughest moments, you can still find the inner strength to rise? Remember, victory isn't measured by how far you've gone, but by the courage to start and the resilience to keep going. And once you realize the power of how you perceive yourself, the journey doesn't stop there. Because the greatest challenge isn't overcoming others, it's conquering yourself. That's the final step in unlocking a world without limits. Let's explore this final lesson, where you'll discover that when you master yourself, you master the world. Number 8. Conquer yourself, conquer the world. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Confucius once said this, and Stoic philosophy holds this truth just as firmly. In a world brimming with chaos and unpredictability, where people are often swept away by waves of ambition, fear, and insatiable desires, true conquest doesn't begin outwardly. It begins within. You can't control the winds, but you can learn to steer your sails. And that mastery over oneself is the greatest victory of all. We often mistake success for power, wealth, or recognition. But the greatest triumph lies in inner control, the ability to govern your thoughts, emotions, and actions regardless of circumstances. When anger flares in response to harsh words, it's not the fault of the speaker, but rather your choice to let their words affect you. When discouragement creeps in after a failure, it's your mind placing limits on your progress. Stoicism teaches that the world truly changes only when you change how you perceive and respond to it. Ask yourself, have you ever been so overwhelmed by emotion that you lost your sense of reason? Have you let fear hold you back from moving forward? These moments reveal that we haven't fully mastered ourselves yet. Stoicism doesn't demand emotional numbness or detachment from the world. It teaches that you can feel deeply, but your actions should never be ruled by those emotions. Conquering oneself is a journey of facing the darkest corners of your soul. It's acknowledging fear, but not allowing it to halt your steps. It's looking at failure, not through the lens of self-pity, but with a mindset eager to learn and grow. Stoicism teaches that every hardship is an opportunity to strengthen yourself, to become more resilient with each passing day. But this journey is far from easy. It demands persistence and discipline. When you feel like giving up, remember that every time you overcome laziness or fear, you win a small battle against yourself. When anger or disappointment arises, pause and ask, will this reaction help me become a better version of myself? Stoicism teaches that strength doesn't come from avoiding emotions, but from facing and mastering them. The world will always throw unpredictable challenges your way, but how you respond is what truly matters. When you master yourself, no external circumstance can defeat you. Self-conquest also means accepting that you are not perfect, and you don't need to be. Failures and mistakes are essential parts of growth. Stoicism teaches that each day, your only goal is to be better than you were yesterday. There's no need to compare yourself to others because everyone's journey is unique. What matters most is knowing you're on the right path and continuously moving forward. Are you ready to face yourself? Do you have the courage to acknowledge your weaknesses and gradually overcome them? Stoicism teaches that only when you truly master your mind and emotions can you find genuine freedom and happiness. The world out there may be full of challenges and injustices, but you always have the power to choose your response. You decide who you will become, no matter the circumstances. And when you conquer yourself, you don't just change your view of the world, you gain the ability to make a real difference. Because in the end, the greatest victor is not the one who defeats others, but the one who masters himself. We've just explored 8 Stoic lessons that can transform the way you perceive yourself. But the most important thing isn't just understanding them, it's taking action. Every great mindset shift begins with small changes. Each thought, each decision, each moment where you choose to take control of yourself, rather than being ruled by emotions or circumstances. Remember, you are not what happens to you. You are how you respond to it. If you found this video helpful but haven't hit the like button yet, take a second to do so. It lets me know that these insights truly resonate with you. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which principle impacted you the most? Or share your own story so we can learn from each other. And don't forget to pass this video along to someone who could use a little inspiration, because sometimes just one sentence can change a day or even a life. Lastly, hit that subscribe button, because there's so much more valuable content coming your way. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.